Hello, my friends. Happy Friday. My name is Sarah Chattel McGuire from Sassy Paper Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today's card is this one. So super cute, so festive. I'm going to show you exactly how to make it. But first, couple of things to talk about. I have some Black Friday deals going on right now. So I did a live sale this morning, and what that is I went through my inventory, picked some amazing things to sell to you guys, did my live sale over in the Sassy Paper Crafts Stampin' Up! Sale group. It was so fun. There are still things available. And also, I am doing, with a $50 order in my online store, a free Stampin' Blends combo pack or ink pad. And if you spend $100, a free Nuts About Squirrels stamp set plus the blends and ink pad. It's a really good deal. Hello, Mary Lou. Welcome. If you click the link in the description of this video, it will take you to the blog post that will explain all the deals, exactly how to get them, what you need to do, all that good stuff. For the online store one, my host code is right here. If you use that, you'll also get a free pack of envelopes from me in December. So much free stuff happening today. So this card, we are using the Boughs of Holly. I always want to say bows. Deck the halls with Boughs of Holly. Boughs of Holly Suite. And in that suite is the Leaves of Holly stamp set and the Holly Berry dies. So we're going to be using both of these today, plus the Boughs of Holly Designer Series paper to make this card. First, let's do a little bit of stamping. I'm going to set my card over to the side so I don't mess that up. I have already die cut the beautiful label from the Holly Berry dies. This is that label. So what it does is it cuts out this, and then I've die cut this piece too in some evening evergreen. You can do whatever color you want, but that just goes behind it. And how cute is that? So we're going to be doing that in a little bit. We're going to get our stamping done first and then do a little die cutting. So what I want to do is I have a scrap piece of basic white here. And then I need another scrap piece that I didn't cut. Oh, I have one here, but it's a little big, so I'm going to have to cut it quick. Where did my paper trimmer go? Oh, there it is. So I'm just going to cut it really quick just to make a little scrap piece. I'll cut it about 2 3/4 because I know with my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the opening's about 3 inches, a little more wide. So I want to use the mini for this one. So we're going to use a couple of stamps from the Leaves of Holly stamp set. I'm going to be using the two smaller leaves, so the solid image and the outline. So this is a 2-step stamp set. What that means, you take 2 stamps and you get 1 solid image. We're also going to be using just the solid holly berries and the Christmas wishes. So I have those all ready to go on my blocks. I have 2 D blocks here, a C block, and an H block. And I also have 3 colors of ink. So I have Old Olive, Evening Evergreen, and Real Red. So we're going to start with the Old Olive. And this is going to look really dark at first. But if you see on the card, you can see like the dimension, the texture. I'm trying different lighting, so I don't know if that's any better or worse. But you can see the Old Olive kind of behind that Evening Evergreen. It lightens up as it dries. So we're going to take that solid leaf stamp into the Old Olive. We're going to do this twice because we want 2. Just tapping, making sure I'm getting good ink coverage there. Stamp it. And see, like I said, it looks really dark, but once it dries, it lightens to be Old Olive colored. Stamp that again. We're done with the Old Olive. So we'll put that away. And then take the Evening Evergreen and our outline here. And these are photopolymer stamps, so they line up really nice. They're really easy to line up. What I like to do, my head might get in the way a little bit just because I want to do this right, is I like to line up the tips of the leaves. Kind of makes it a little bit easier. I've tried it before. We're lining up the stem, and that's kind of weird. So see, I lined up, it's a little bit off, but you can't even really tell. And if you want to get perfect placement every time, I suggest using a Stamparatus. But I think just kind of eyeballing it works just fine. So now we're done with the evening evergreen. And you can see that old olive starting to light up, starting to come through. Just move that to the side. Now I'm going to grab my real red, and we're going to stamp our holly berries. And then, oh, don't put that away. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment onto our little label here. Now you can have this go any way you want. I've seen people do it this way. I'm going to put it this way, however you want to do it. And I'm going to go over to the right just slightly, but kind of in the middle, if that makes any sense at all. I just kind of want this to stand out, and I didn't want to get the words in it, so that's why I went over to the right. So that is it for stamping. It's really kind of a quick and simple card. I'm going to clean my stamps quickly. So I have my Stampin' Scrub. There's a wet side and a dry side. I'm just going to spray the wet side with a little Stampin' Mist. And just scrub one side and scrub on the other. And they are clean and ready to go. And put these away. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Our Thanksgiving was awesome. We had 2 dinners, my husband's mother's and then his stepmother's, and both dinners were great. Lots of time with family. It was a good day. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving as well. Okay, now our stamps are put away. We can do some die cutting. You get these blocks out of here and grab my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I think I'm going to go this way. That might be easier for me. And I just have the platform #1 and then a #2 cutting plate that is looking pretty dingy. And I'm just grabbing, like I said, I use this label for our label, but I'm going to grab the smaller of the solid leaves. I'm going to grab my holly berries. Also, you would need the leaf insert one there, but I already did that. But I'm also going to use the outline, I guess not the outline, the detailed die for the holly berries, and we're going to use some of this beautiful glimmer paper. So this is real red and white, and I just have this scrap of white here, and we're going to cut out some holly berries with some glitter, and it kind of makes it look like snow. It's pretty cool. So I hope that's a big enough piece there. It looks like it will be. I'm going to run that through first because I don't know. Well, yeah, it looks big enough to me. It'll be fine. Oh, unless I move it all over. Try that. There we go. I'm just going to run that through, and I might run it through twice, just once forward and then back again, just because that glimmer paper is a little bit thicker, and I just want to make sure it cuts all the way through. Looks like it did. Let me get some of those pieces off of there, and then I can show you what we get. So we get this nice little detailed. There's a little piece in there that I gotta poke out. There we go. I didn't poke it out on the other card. You can't even tell, but poke that little piece out, and I'll show you how to use that in just a second. So let's cut out our leaves next. Excuse me. I think I'm getting sick. I hope it's just nothing, but seems like I'm getting a mild cold. I hope that's not the case. I feel like I've been sick a lot this year, and I'm over it. I don't want to be sick anymore. Oh. Like, why is this stuck? Well, that's weird. Let's try this again. Sometimes you gotta finagle it just right, or it gets a little finicky. So there is one of our leaves cut, and we'll do the second one, and then our berries, and then we can put our card together. This one comes together pretty quick. It looks like it's a lot of work. It's actually pretty quick, and I am going to attempt to make 20 of these for my mother-in-law. She requested 20 Christmas cards. So I'm hoping that it's just as quick as this. I'm obviously going to do it in stages. So I'll do all my stamping, all my die cutting, and then all my assembly in stages so they'll go by quicker. Let's get our berries. But she requested 20 Christmas cards last night. So I'm going to make these ones for her, I think. And the glimmer paper, just to, if you're doing a lot of them, I'm not right at the second, so I didn't do it, but I would use adhesive sheets on the back of the glimmer paper. If you were making a lot of these cards, it makes it into like almost a sticker. So that way it would go by even faster. And that's probably what I'll do when I start on her 20 cards. All right, so the die cutting is finished. We just put this away. And then we can assemble our cards. And get my life in order here because everything kind of moved on me. All right. So now I'm going to take a piece of basic white, and this just measures 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have a piece of real red that I believe is, 2 inches by 5, and that's just going to layer on there. And then this is a piece of the Boughs of Holly Designer Series paper. And it's 1 3/4, I'm sorry, by 4 3/4, 4 3/4. So we're just going to put all those together. I'm just going to grab some seal. Layer that on there. And you could emboss the basic white. You could add a ribbon. Really make it your own. But I just kind of wanted to keep it a little bit simple. I really wanted this paper to shine. I love the poinsettias on here. And then what I'm going to do, we're going to put our backing on our label here, and then we'll put our glitter on because I'm using Tombow glue and I want to give it a second to dry. So I'm just going to take the Tombow glue, the liquid glue, and put little dots all around it. I'm not using too much, not squeezing too hard because I don't want glue all over my life. I just want it to stick to the holly berries. And then we're just going to line it up. And now what I like to do is I'm going to pick this up. And the Tombow glue is very forgiving, and it kind of gives you a minute to work with it. I'm just going to do that. And that looks good to me. I'm going to squeeze, pull that down, and then what I'm going to do is do the same thing on the back of these leaves. I'm not going to go too crazy with the glue because, like I said, I don't want it all over the place. And again, you could use an adhesive sheet on the back of this if you wanted as well. And then I'm just going to take and match the leaves up. Oh, did I do the wrong leaves? No, I didn't. Just being weird. Okay, now I'm going to flip it over and just kind of line that up. There we go. I was like, that was being weird. There. I'm just going to hold that down a minute. And if you do get some on your cardstock, it's fine. It dries clear. So I'm going to leave those to the side for a minute. And now we can put our big leaves down. And I just took a little bit of seal on the back of that. So one kind of going that way. And the other one like that. And then we can take some dimensionals, pop up our sentiment. And I just kind of hid the stems a little bit. So I might have put those leaves up a little bit higher than I did on the last card, but I think it's still cute. I never make the same card twice. And then I'm just going to put my holly berries right there in the center of those leaves. And then we can add this to our card base. So I have an evening evergreen card base that is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. I'm just going to take my bone folder and burnish those at the edge there, just so it's nice and crisp. Make sure I'm opening it the right way. And then we can put our panel on here. And don't forget a piece for the inside, especially with the darker cardstock like that. If you had a white pen, you definitely could just write on the inside of the evening evergreen. I always like to add an inside. And before we finish, I have some of these red rhinestone basic jewels, and I have my take your pick tool. I'm just going to pick up a couple of these with the putty end of that take your pick tool. And do 3 of them. Another one. Oh, here-ish. There. And that is our card. Pretty quick, pretty easy. There's a little bit of die cut involved, so if you're not quite there yet, totally get it, but definitely makes a pretty card. So I hope you enjoyed this live. If you did, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. I will be live here for the foreseeable future every Friday. So I hope to see you again next Friday. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Mary Lou says, really like this card and stamp set. Me too, Mary Lou. I hope you have enjoyed the Boughs of Holly week. I'm excited. I don't have to say that anymore. So I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.